Good day, ladies and gentlemen, your gun doctor here. How about the Cold War MP5 versus the Modern Warfare MP5 Hipfire build? Which one is the most optimal one? Can the Modern Warfare MP5 just completely demolish the Cold War one? Or has the Cold War one, with the great time to kill it has to offer, a chance to be a great Hipfire build? Are the new attachments actually working? Bruiser grip, red cell foregrip, which one is the vibe here? Let's look at the stats of the two guns. Let's first look at the stats of the two guns. True Game Data, thank you for supporting the stats for today. Anthony is very appreciated. If we're looking at the Cold War MP5, the main sales argument is the fire rate, which is slightly faster as in the Modern Warfare ones, because technically the Modern Warfare gun has better damage values by 1 on every single body part plus 2 on the head. Though the movement speed of the Cold War MP5 is slightly faster than the Modern Warfare one, which is good to see, especially if we're looking later at the attachments, because the Bruiser foregrip does not only do hipfire, it also does general movement speed bonus. If we're now looking at the time to kill chart here, we have 250 health on the chest, and the Cold War MP5 just performs better than the Modern Warfare MP5 in pink here. We're not talking about a huge time to kill difference, but there is a felt time to kill difference. Also, if we're now moving this over to head, yes, headshot damage still Cold War MP5. Also, why we're talking about time to kill and not DPS in this regard, very simple, because we're using SMGs. On SMGs, you can really talk about time to kill, because realistically, if you're using a hipfire gun, you're standing in front of the target, every single shot is going to hit. So here, time to kill matters more than if we're talking about 50-meter range, because on a 50-meter range, their time to kill value is nice, right? But realistically, on a 50-meter range, you're not going to hit every single shot. So your 600 milliseconds time to kill is absolutely unrealistic. Even if we're going down to extremities, the Cold War MP5 just dominates on every single body part. That is really good to see. What is interesting here to really look at is the bullet velocity. The bullet velocity of the Modern Warfare MP5 is higher, but nowadays, with how good actually the attachments are on Cold War guns, so with the fixed Cold War attachments, with the new agency suppressor giving such a huge boost on bullet velocity, that is nothing to talk about. The bullets of the Cold War MP5 are going to arrive anytime faster than the ones of the Modern Warfare. It's really cool how fast you can actually boost this up nowadays, how much more viable it has gotten. But can the hipfire area spread actually keep up? Because that's the interesting part. Can this be the new hipfire beaming gun? Because from a time to kill value, having then a good hipfire, that could be the absolute vibe compared to the Mac 10. Because if we're adding the Mac 10 here and the open bolt delay of the Mac 10, the Cold War MP5 does have a faster time to kill than the Mac 10. We take away the open bolt delay. What's the open bolt delay? You click the button and your gun shoots a bit later. The Uzi has that, the LMGs have that. The Mac 10 is kind of on par with the MP5 with a little bit more effective damage range. That's why the Mac 10 is also a very good sniper support gun. But if we're looking really at the open bolt delay, like you jump around a corner, both of you see each other Spider-Man style, and you start then the MP5 starts shooting first, and you would obviously have a faster time to kill, but then can that hipfire style even keep up with the Mac 10 that would aim down sight? Let's dive into it, test the base recoil on the Cold War MP5 hipfire style, then see red cell, bruiser grip, which attachments do actually help with hipfire. What should we choose? 4 meters away from the wall, the base MP5 hipfire does look pretty good. Which attachments now do increase it the most though? Okay, what helps now? We showed you the base recoil. We can put on the red cell foregrip, which gives you sprinting move speed and hipfire accuracy. We put on the bruiser foregrip for movement speed and hipfire accuracy too. And then you have the field agent. The field agent actually does vertical and horizontal recoil control, which does help with the hipfire too, because end of the day, vertical, horizontal recoil control. But does the bruiser have more, or does the bruiser do better than the field agent or better than the red cell foregrip? Tests have shown that the bruiser is more efficient already than the red cell foregrip. I would love to have the red cell because of the sprint to move speed, but the bruiser grip generally gives movement speed without any minus, which is really good. And you get the hipfire accuracy on top. So it's going to be bruiser grip versus field agent in our tests. Then when it comes down to the stocks, none help with the hipfire. They do actually now ruin the hipfire. No stock had a hidden hipfire boost that it doesn't have anymore. Recently tested. I tried out the collapse if there's some hidden stat, maybe because the collapse does it on the Modern Warfare guns, but no, there was nothing to find. When it comes down to the lasers, you have the target designator, but we already know that the target designator is weaker than the 5 milliwatt. But which one is it now? 5 milliwatt laser or the Ember sight point, the gigantic flashlight, or just the normal Hipfire visible laser? Which one is going to be the better one here to choose? Barrel wise, I choose to go for the reinforced heavy because this gives the most bullet velocity and works the best. Effective damage range wise, effective damage range is not needed. We can't use the task force because it shows that the task force with the minus of vertical and horizontal recoil actually does ruin Hipfire too. Kind of feels like super worse, to be honest. So reinforced heavy is going to be for the testing, and from the muzzle we're going to go for the agency suppressor because the agency suppressor just gives us that insane bullet velocity. And yes, even bullet velocity in a Hipfire build can help too. You have some vertical recoil control, you have your sound suppression. No, you don't want to take the infantry comp or the SOCOM elim because they actually widen the spread even more. Flash guard could be the vibe, but agency here just has the stats to talk about. So it's agency, reinforced, then bruiser and field agent, 5 milliwatt and target designator, and on top of that, the fast mag to have just the most bullets possible. Field agent, 5 milliwatt, and the reinforced heavy makes it a very nice beamer. But now, obviously, the big question, how much more does the Ember side point help and how much more does the Bruiser help in comparison to the Field Agent? Ember side point instead of 5 milliwatt. And I have to say that personally, the 5 milliwatt seems to be helping a bit better than the Ember side point. Now, this is Bruiser and 5 milliwatt compared to the Field Agent. Is the Bruiser more efficient? Does the Bruiser help? And I have to say that the horizontal spread seems tighter with the Bruiser than with the Field Agent. Now, if we're taking the Field Agent here with a 5 milliwatt and we're going to spray it right next to it again, just to have the straight side-to-side comparison. And it's like minimal, but if we would really go from this pixel to this pixel, the Bruiser seems to be a tiny tad better than the Field Agent. Now, this is the Bruiser and the Ember side point instead of the 5 milliwatt laser. So how does Bruiser and Ember side point perform? And I think we can already conclude that the Ember side point is worse than the 5 milliwatt back-to-back tests right now. The 5 milliwatt definitely performed better here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. It is the 5 milliwatt reinforced heavy agency suppressor Bruiser grip salvo 50 round fast mag MP5 as the absolute Hipfire beast. How is this compared now to the Modern Warfare MP5 though? Look at these two pictures to come and decide yourself. Both guns 4 meters away from the target. Right side is the Modern Warfare MP5. Left side is the Cold War MP5. The Cold War MP5 is close to what the Modern Warfare MP5 has to offer. Both are 4 meters away here. Obviously, the Modern Warfare just has the little bit tighter spread horizontally. Vertically, they more or less are the same. It's not that much of a difference, but the vertical is a bit tighter on the MP5. But I would say on a 4 meter distance, this does not matter that much. And the Cold War MP5 can actually keep up with the Modern Warfare one. But yes, the Modern Warfare one is superior in the Hipfire. I do believe though, what I see here right now is that with the feeling the Modern Warfare MP5 had on Hipfire, that the Cold War MP5 does have a Hipfire build here that we can definitely try out in a next gameplay video. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. This is going to be the build that I'm going to be running now. I have a Twitch Rivals tournament up and coming. I'm looking for that one gun that I feel most comfortable with in close quarter combat. And the MP5 has always been it for Modern Warfare. So maybe the Cold War MP5 can overtake this for me and be the one gun that I now love to play, because the Hipfire builds were always so superior. Don't worry about ADS times. Don't worry about actually hitting your target. Just jump around the corner and get your opponent down with an ease. Definitely tell me in the comments below how you're playing your Cold War MP5, how you're playing your range build, because other people will definitely have the question, how do you play it now on a range, you know, at a normal without Hipfire? But we're covering the Hipfire here. So definitely drop that in the comment below. People would love to see that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to find your way back to then see the gameplay video of this up and coming too. And also, we're going to be trying to give you the Twitch Rivals games from next week. They're going to be a 2-on-2 kill race. I'm really excited for that. Probably pairing this together with maybe an AMAX, maybe a Ram 7. Haven't 100% decided yet what my loadout is going to be. Could be a Hipfire plus a Kar 98. Could be a Hipfire together with an M82. We'll see about that. We'll test that in the next day on Twitch TV Ponya from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So don't forget to check that out and come by if you would like to see some live action. And as always, see you soon in Verdansk.